Hare Hare Krishna, everyone. I have a small request for everyone to squeeze a little bit forward. I had a bath 2 times already, so I'm quite clean. More, as much as possible. I was requested to make a talk today, and I had still the mood of the Sima Prahlada Lila, what we had the Wednesday, the holiday of appearance day of Lord Nisimhadev. Who heard about Nisimhadev before? Nisimhadev, Bhagavan? No. Yeah, Prahlada Maharaj. Somebody heard about Prahlada Maharaj? Okay. Somebody heard this story before? Yeah, this Wednesday.
No, we learned it from our primary school.
Okay. We'll read the text from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, and 8th text. The verse from Prahlada Maharaj praying to Lord Nrsimhadev. I'll read the text. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Also, we'll do it by itself. Brahmavadya Suragana Muyayotha Siddha Sattvakakta Gatayo Vachistam Pravayishta Naraditum Puraganai Adhagna Bibhu Kim Tostum Arthati Samehari Ugra Yate. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prahlada Maharaj prayed, how is possible for me, who have been born in family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods, suras, headed by Lord Brahma, and all the sainted persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words. Although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness, then what is so to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. So, I'll read it once again. Prahlada Maharaj prayed, how is possible for me, who have been born in family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words. For the such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness, then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. Srila Prabhupada was quoting this verse, and he was giving the classes, at least seven classes he gave on this verse, particularly purport. A Vaishnava is fully qualified to serve the Lord, still thinks himself extremely low while offering prayers to the Lord. For example, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says, Jagai Madai Haite Moyine Pavishta, Purisharekita Haite Moyine Lagishta. It's in Bengali. Thus he considers himself unqualified, lower than the worms of the stool. and the more sinful than Jagai and I. A pure Vaishnava devotee actually thinks of himself in this way. Similarly, although Prahlada Maharaj was a pure, exalted Vaishnava, he thought himself was unqualified to offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. Mahajana Yena Gata Sapanta. Every pure Vaishnava should think like this. One should not be falsely proud of his Vaishnava qualification. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore instructed us, Trinadapi Sunichana, Taroriva Sahishnana, Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadabhari. We can repeat together. Trinadapi Sunichana,
Trinadapi Sunichana,
Taroriva Sahishnana,
Taroriva Sahishnuna,
Amanina Manadena,
Amanina Manadena,
Kirtanya Sadahari.
Kirtanya Sadahari.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid all the sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Unless one is meek and humble, to make progress in spiritual life is very difficult. I'll repeat the last. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the teacher and Gurudev of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he was stated that it's Siddha Pranali, or it's a perfection of Vaishnava, Siddha Pranali mantra that we were repeating. And as a jewel, this mantra, another person. I'll repeat, one should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid all the sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. And the purport Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshura Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasa Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Somebody knows why we're raising our arms when we're chanting? What is the mark?
Another form of surrender also.
Yeah, it's surrender. It's oneself to the Lord. So, one more time, thank you for your precious time to spend at the temple of Iskon Temple, the home of Prabhupada, what he made for everyone, to come together and to hear the pastimes of the Lord, to chant together and take prasadam and dance together. This is the easiest way what Lord Chaitanya gave us to progress in this age of Kali. And we were celebrating appearance day of Lord Nrisimhadev. And usually we discuss and some pastimes about the Lord Nrisimhadev. And we were hearing that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was listening the Srimad Bhagavatam mostly about Prahlada Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj hundreds of times. Why? We can ask why he was listening so many times. It's not about Gopi, about Krishna, it's about Prahlada Maharaj. And it is said even that he was listening about the Prahlada Maharaj, not about Nrisimhadev, about the Lord. So this chapter and this canto, the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam starts from explaining the impartial and partial beauty of God, that He's transcendental to everyone. It was the question of Parikshit Maharaj who was on the. Who heard about Parikshit Maharaj? Yes, Parikshit Maharaj. And who it was? Yeah, please. Emperor. Okay. And why he was listening from Shukadeva Goswami? And what he was listening?
Well, he was cursed that he will die within 7 days.
7 days. Yes. 7 days. And the 7th canto is already quite several days past. So he has a couple days left till his death from the snake. And Shukadeva Goswami explains, it was the question actually, how the Lord is very conditioned, he's how to say, he's very attracted to the devotees and not to the non-devotees. And then Shukadeva Goswami, he said, it's a very good question because the Lord is not belongs in duality of this Lord, of this word. So the duality means he's not in this material modes of nature. It's goodness, passion, ignorance, three modes. Goodness, passion. He not in this conception of friend, of enemy, pain, pleasure, happiness, distress, good or bad. He's transcendental to all of this. And but Supreme Personality of Godhead is above of these modes of nature. And then and therefore Krishna never sees this mundane realm of duality. And he reciprocates according to how we approach him. It is said that if we're doing one step to the Lord, how many steps he gives? 100 and more, even more. Yeah, we just look on this side and he gives so many steps forward us. So the question was, why the great demons, even when they are killed by the Lord, it was the best for them. They were liberated by the Lord. And that question went to another question from Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, was explaining how Shishupala attained liberation. Who heard about Shishupala and Dandavaka? Yeah, who it was? Okay. I'm asking the question, so we'll be aware. Huh?
Krishna's brother, kind of brother, like the sister,
Shri Krishna's cousin.
someone here.
Yes, and why he was killed by his relative, by the brother.
He was originally a Jaya in his third incarnation.
Yes,
because,
okay, yeah.
The four Kumara brothers had
Cursed.
cursed Jaya and Vijaya that they will either take the birth 7 times as a devotee of God or 3 times as his enemies, and they chose to reincarnate 3 times as his enemies. And
Yes.
Shishupala was the last incarnation of Jaya.
Yeah, but why he was killed by the Lord?
It was because he insulted Krishna more than 100 times.
Okay. Yeah, he was so absorbed in cursing, so he lost the count. How many times because from his mom, it was the benediction that please don't kill him if he yeah, more than 100 times, then you can kill him. And Shishupal was very aware about this count, so it's supposed to be in a row, so 100 times. And Krishna counts very perfectly. So how many rounds we chant, how many holy names we chant, how many times we wake up in the morning to chant our rounds, how many times we course or like how many times we praised him. So he has very good count. So it was and Yudhishthira Maharaj, he saw how after killing Shishupal by chakra, Sudarshan chakra, yes. So it was so fast and so burned, so even a drop of the blood didn't fall from Shishupal to, because it was the yagya by Yudhishthira Maharaj. What kind of yagya? Oh, it's the horse yagya.
Ashwamedh.
Ashwamedh. Rajasuya, yes. So it was a question from Prahlada Maharaj, from Yudhishthira Maharaj, why this Shishupal, he was so cursing and all the time Krishna, and he was liberated. He saw how the soul of Shishupal went in the body of Krishna, and he asked the question to Narada Muni, who was there on this yagya, Rajasuya yagya, and all of the sages around him, they heard this question and they were listening very attentively what the Narada Muni will explain to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So it was the story in the story in the story. It's very interesting story of Srimad Bhagavatam. I hope we will go to the Prahlad Maharaj story. Till what time we have? Like 20 minutes. Yeah. So, and the Prahlad Maharaj's story begins, and Narada Muni explaining how Prahlad Maharaj was so wonderful characteristic. He was so wonderful boy. How many years he was? 5. So many people, they just start to speak at 3, 4, 5 years. Even boys, mostly, they kind of. So he was very polite, very kind, but he was very absorbed and feeling separation to the Lord, to Lord Vishnu, to Lord Krishna. And when he was feeling separation, he was crying like a small baby. But when he was feeling that the presence of Krishna, he would dance in jubilation. And he was explaining, Nardamuni explaining what characteristic of Prahlada Maharaj has. And after that, he said that he was, I would say in English, chastising, and he was, his own father wanted to kill him. And Parishas Maharaj was, and Yudhishthira Maharaj actually asked why he was so good qualities, and his own father wanted to kill him. It was another question. Then it was the explanation of Hiranyakashipu's enmity towards Prahlada Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu, he was lamenting over the death of his brother. His brother's name was Hiranyaksha, yes. And he was killed by Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha, yes. And it was, I actually wanted to recite some text from Hiranyakashipu. He wasn't just a demon or demonic nature, he was very scholarly, knew the Vedas. And after killing by the Lord his brother, he was specifying all his relatives and his mom Diti and all his sisters and brothers and everyone. He went all together and he started to preach like Gurudev. Hiranyakashipu said, "My dear mother, sister-in-law and nephews, you should not lament for the death of the great hero, for the hero's death in the front of his enemy is glorious and desirable. My dear mother, in the restaurant of the place of drinking cold water, many travelers are brought together, and after drinking water, they continue to their respective destination. Similarly, living entities join together in family, and later, as a result of their own action, they are led apart to their destination." So we live together as a family, as a travelers drinking the water, and they go in other directions. The spirit soul, the living entity, has no death, for he is eternal and exhaustible. Being free from material contamination, he can go anywhere in these material and spiritual worlds. He is fully aware and completely different from the material body. But because of being misled by misuse of their slight independence, he is obliged to accept subtle and gross bodies, created by the material energy, those be subjected to so-called material happiness and distress. So powerful preaching, yeah? Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, no one should lament for the passing of the spirit soul from the body. Because of the movements of the water, the trees on the bank of the river, when reflected to the water, seems to move. Similarly, when the eyes move because of somewhat mental derangement, the land appears to move also. The same way, O my gentle mother, when the mind is agitated by the movements of the modes of material nature, the living entity, all through reach from the different phases of the subtle and gross body, thinks that he has changed from the one condition to another. So he is preaching about that the soul is eternal. But in the same way, what he said to all his relatives that this Vishnu will die, and I will cut his head from the trunk and offer the blood to my brother who liked the taste of the blood very much. In the same way, he was preaching very, very good. But in the same way, he understands he wants to take a revenge. He wants to kill his enemy or Krishna. And what he went to do after that? Tapasya, yeah? What kind of tapasya? Who is remembering? Not Prabhu. Our scholar. 100 celestial years, what he was doing? Standing. But how?
With one leg.
He was standing on the toes, on the legs, where they have folded hands.
He was doing spiritual practice and meditation.
Yeah, practice.
It was tapasya.
Tapasya. Somebody wants to stay at least 30 seconds on the toes. You want to try? But it's 100 celestial years. It's not our years. It's from upper planets.
How many hour years can you say approximately?
Lots. It's as I know, it's one day of the celestial day. It's 1 year, as I remember. In 1 year in our material, it's 1 day of celestial.
But Hiranyakashipu, he went to the Patala region because time there is much faster than here on Earth.
Oh, he was standing here.
Here on Earth.
Yes, on this region, the middle region. So he was doing this tapasya, and ultimately the demigods went to Lord Brahma because it was so hot, even on the lower planets, the middle planets, and the upper planets, planetary systems. It was so hot because of this tapasya of Hiranyakashipu. And he said, you need to go there and just to pacify him and to ask what he wants, because it will kill us, the whole universe. And then Lord Brahma, he went, and Hiranyakashipu, paid his dandavats, he prostrated obeisance to Lord Brahma, not because of surrendering, but he wanted to ask something from him. And he asked the benediction to be immortal. But Lord Brahma said that even I am immortal, even I live a long period of time, I am not immortal. You can ask something else. And then Hiranyakashipu, he asked that what is the benedictions? Somebody remembers?
He starts saying, from whom he doesn't want death.
From whom what?
From whom he should not be killed.
Yes. So all species, he even told about the human species of life because he was so powerful. He was saying about Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Yakshas, demigods. I would not die from any weapons. I would not die either on the day or night. I would not die even on water, land, on air. I would not die even inside or outside. Haribol, everywhere.
You can say that Lord Brahma gave Hiranyakashipu limited immortality, partial immortality.
He gave what he wanted, and what he could give. And so Brahma bestowed all the benedictions to Hiranyakashipu, and then Hiranyakashipu felt it himself unrestrictable, and he sent his army to terrorize the whole world, to kill all the brahmanas, to vipras, and all the cows, and he changed the laws of the universe. If you do the bad things, you have a good karma. If you're doing the good things, it's opposite. He changed everything. He was so powerful, and even the glance and his eyebrows. If he was angry, all the demigods were running. He was very powerful, and he was very puffed up. And usually when it's if you're puffed up, it stops in some period of time. So in that period of time, and all Brahma and all the demigods, they asked from the Lord how to stop him, because he was terrorizing the whole universe. And Lord Vishnu said that it will stop in one day when he will start to bless him and to terrorize his devotees, and mostly his son. So we were describing how Prahlada Maharaj was 5 years old and he was studying Gurukula by Shandaya Marka, it's Shukracharya's sons, and they were learning the politics, the economy, and a lot of studies. And then one day, Hiranyakashipu, he just saw his Prahlada Maharaj, his son. He has 4 sons, and he was very affectionate to him, and he put on his lap, he smelled his hair, and he was so affectionate to his son, he even started to cry. The great demon, he started to cry because he's very affectionate to his son. And as you speak with a small boy, what you would ask? About his school, about his playing and everything, and he asked what you're studying there in your school, what is favorite subject in your school, and what is the reply of the Prahlada Maharaj? He said, "My dear father, O best of the demons," he praised him, and he said, "A person who cannot control his mind or senses, a person who is submerged in materialistic thinking, in materialistic household life, finds himself in very deep, dark well of suffering, where no water and no one can hear him." 5 years old. There is only suffering. Therefore, my dear father, get out of this well. Go to the forest of Vrindavan and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Little Prahlad is telling that to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu was shocked. He started to laugh very loudly, and he couldn't believe from that. And here, if you call Shandaya Marka his Gurukula teacher, saying, where did he got this? From this knowledge of my enemy, Lord Vishnu. And they said, it's not us. We never told him that. It's I don't know where he got it. And Prahlada Maharaj said, and they asked, where did you got these things from the enemy? And he said that all you are teaching me, that Shandaya Marka, that is who is your friend is, and how the best exploit the friends. That is politics. In other words, that is politics. And this, who is your enemy, is, and how to somehow destroy your enemy. This is what is politics all about. And you're telling me, what about what is goal of life is economic development, how to make money and have power. That's it. But me, I cannot see things in terms of friends and enemy. Just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't sit in my heart. Why? Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is like a magnet, and I am like a piece of iron, and I am immensely attracted to him. So beautiful analogy. And they pick up a stick, and they wanted to beat him, to torture him. It was just the beginning. And they wanted to create a fear in his eye, but and they put him in the school. And he became a very good student after. He was listening, very obedient, and they listened all the classes what they were giving, and they were thinking that he changed his mind from this Vishnu theme that he's not a devotee, and they sent him to his mother, and she bathed him very nicely. She decorated with the new clean clothes, and he went to Hiranyakashipu. He smeared his hair. He was petting him. Oh, my dear son, Prahlad. The same question. What have you been doing in the school? Please tell me what the best subject have you learned? What the reply was. Somebody remember? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vadanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam Iti Samritam Vishnu. And all the verses he was just started to reply that, my dear father, there are 9 processes of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remember of the glories of the Supreme Lord, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord once the best friend, and surrendering everything into him. And one who follows this 9 process of devotional service will achieve the great perfection. So, to make this short, this story we were hearing from Prabhu, how he was tortured. They were trying to kill thousands. They were very creative. They were trying to kill him, thousands and thousands, variants of, and they were trying to put it in the ocean, like to cut in the pieces, put it in with the snakes. They couldn't kill him. He was thinking about the Lord all the time. And Hiranyakashipu said that if we cannot heal him, he gave an example, as a yogi cannot control his mind and senses, the mind and senses destroy him. Similarly, if I cannot control Prahlad, then he will be the cause of my destruction. So they wanted to kill him as fast as possible. And they were trying to kill him, and after no results, the Shandaya Marcus said, let's try to teach him again. School, and we'll try to learn him in a good way. And he was very polite again, and he was listening. And then when it was the pause, Shandaya Marka went to another place. All of these other students, all the boys who was studying with him in Gurukul, they asked, from where you got this knowledge about Lord Krishna, about devotion? If you got so many knowledge, 5 years old. We never heard about this. And what was his reply? When his brother Hiranyaksha died, the demigods kidnapped the mother, his mother, and they wanted to kill her because she was pregnant, and they were afraid that this son of Hiranyakashipu would be more powerful than Hiranyakashipu, and they wanted to kill him. And Narada Muni came and said that no, it's not the way. He is a Mahabhagavata, and he got the mother, and he teach her the Srimad Bhagavatam. And after she was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlada Maharaj, in the womb of the mother, he was listening also Srimad Bhagavatam about the Lord Vishnu. Yeah, we need 2 minutes. Could we have 3 minutes more?
Okay.
Well, was done. And after that,
Ja sen jälkeen
Kayado, as I remember her name, she forgot everything, or she heard from Narada Muni. But Prahlada Maharaj, he was listening and he remembered everything from Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was reciting, and he was, from his childhood, he was absorbed to the Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. So, and Hiranyakashipu, he was so angry, and he said, "How you're not afraid of me? Even all the demigods is afraid. Even my eyebrows is moving. They're running like crazy. But you are not. Where are you getting this energy from?" And the reply of Prahlada Maharaj was that you are, the same source as you is from the Lord Vishnu. The same source as you getting all the energy. And he's saying that, where is your Lord Vishnu? And he said, and Prahlada Maharaj said that he's everywhere. You see what it is? Even here in this column, and with his fist, he just punched this column, and it was very roar. Started very deep sound, very from the upper planets. That all the demigods they hear this sound and they just run there. They never heard this sound. And who it was? The Lord Nrsimhadev. The Lord Nrsimhadev came in the form of half lion, half human. And he killed, and he was playing with Hiranyakashipu. He was start to fight with him like a cat, the big cat playing with the mouse, the small mouse. And Hiranyakashipu was running on the sky because he has the mystic powers as a yogi. And he was catching him like a mouse. And when he just stopped playing with him, he just put him in the, how's this place between the
Threshold.
Huh?
Threshold.
Yeah. Inside
At the entrance.
not inside of the house and not outside. It was the sunrise always. It's not the day and night. Sunset, sorry. Sunset. And he couldn't, because of the benediction, he couldn't kill him with some sword or some weapon, and he killed it with his nails. Yes. Yes, and he killed him. And what else? He put his intestines. Yes, as a garland around him. And he was very beautiful even with his intestines because it's Lord. So it was, everyone wanted to pacify the Lord after that. Even Lakshmi Devi, she said, it's my husband, but I never saw him in this state. He was so angry, and they were trying to pacify the Lord with some different prayers, but nobody can do that. And only only Prahlada Maharaj, because he was in state of Trinada Pisunichana. He was, like Krishna Das Kaviraja was saying, who was considering himself to be lower than the worm on stool, more simple than Jagai and Madai. And Prabhupada explains that he wasn't just saying this, he was feeling that. So in Prabhupada, in conclusion, to draw a conclusion with this story, he says that unless we are meek and humble in this way, like Prahlada Maharaja, to make the progress in spiritual life is very difficult. And there is a 12 Mahajans. We don't describe all of them, but Prahlada Maharaj is Mahajan. We're following Mahajana Yena Gatasapanta. We're following the steps of Prahlada Maharaj. And if we are trying to do a different way in our spiritual life, if we have the spiritual life at least, if we are not meek and humble towards others, we cannot progress in this spiritual life. We cannot chant the holy names of the Lord constantly, the whole of our life. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that humility and simplicity are the fundamental, basic principles that we must accept to actually make spiritual advancement, because these are the qualities the Lord appreciates. And he has the benediction. The Lord, Prahlada Maharaj, he said, I didn't want anything, because listen with that, he said, you can ask any benediction for me. He said, I am from the family of the demon. I'm not a merchant. If I ask something from you, I'm a merchant. It's not a business. I just want to serve you. But if you want to give me a benediction, please save my father. But his father, he wanted to kill him. But in this, even when Prahlada Maharaj was preaching to Lord Nrisimha, to Hiranyakashipu, he wasn't puffed up. He just wanted to save him. He just wanted to help him in his life. He wasn't thinking that he is upper than his father. He was very submissive to him. But in the same time, he was preaching to him. So, and Lord Nrisimhadev said that 21 generation will be liberated. And this benediction belongs not only to Prahlada Maharaj. To every devotee who follows the Prahlada Maharaj way and the spiritual life, if we become a pure devotee of the Lord, it's 21 of the generation in front of backwards, yeah, will be liberated. 21. Srila Prabhupada and other great Vaishnavas gave us the way how to attain this simplicity and humble state of mind by chanting the holy Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we don't have time for questions, but the Lord will answer all the questions if we very simply chant of His glories. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Vilas Bihari Prabhu. Kiitos paljon Vilas Bihari Prabhu tästä kivasta luennosta on this very nice lecture. Nyt me sitten jatkamme Aratilla. Now we continue with Arati ceremony. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,